Okay, we will call this committee of the whole for August 21st to order. I would like to acknowledge that we are holding this meeting on the unceded lands of the Mi'kmaq. A record of attendance, everyone's here. We have Councillor Hatfield with us online. Thanks for stepping in. Declarations of conflict of interest, anyone? You can certainly declare at the time of the agenda item, or you can declare now. Good. Okay, approval of agenda. Any additions or deletions? I do have one in camera added. Anything else? Okay. All those in favor? Aye. Contrary? Motion carried. Okay, staff reports. CAO's report. Anything there? Questions? Okay, fire department. Chief's not here, but we can always find him. You sure can.
Yeah, so so council is aware, with the fires happening in Bridgetown, we have received a request to make some resources available, and Chief Mike is coordinating that effort in Yarmouth County. So I just want to make you aware of that Yarmouth County is helping out, and Chief Mike is taking a leadership role there. There he is.
Speak of the chief.
You're good. No, sorry, I was just commenting that you were taking the leadership role in terms of coordinating resources in support of Annapolis County and the fires that are occurring there.
Yeah, that's correct. They needed one point of contact, so I got nominated, which is fine. I don't mind. Yep.
Good. Okay, anything else for the chief? Operational? Yeah, you're good, thank you. Chad's not here, he's out working, but go ahead. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Not that it matters a lot, but number 2 is blank for transit numbers. I mean, I guess it does matter if we want to know the transit numbers, but it just came up as a blank. I don't know if that was just a mistake, maybe. I don't know if it's coming up on your inter-office memorandum. It's
Okay, go ahead, deputy.
Just a lot of construction and things going on down at South End Playground. It's good to see. It was just down there barbecuing and the hill's completely gone. Took a drive-by yesterday and Gil was there talking to Todd, and yeah, it looks really good. Nice to see that pavilion really coming together, and the tables look great and really starting to look good down there. I did have a quick conversation with Jeff about maybe steps forward. I see later on here there are some cost estimates for different things, and just mentioned that maybe we should do another round of public consultation, even if it's not a meeting in person, but at least get it out there to see what our youth actually would like to see there before, you know, we choose it. I know myself, haven't been on a playground and played in quite a few years, so it would probably be best to ask those who use it what they would like to see and move forward from there. But just thank you to Chad and Todd for the work going on down there, and good to see that the cost estimates for other things and maybe a step 2 moving forward would be nice.
Good, thank you. Okay, anyone else? Okay, planning and economic development, and Natalie's here. Anything there? Anybody want to ask? Okay, engineering. Yeah, Demario's on vacation. That Mariner Center's going up though. Wow. Finance, Jerry's here. Do we have any money? Don't answer that question. It might incriminate you. Jerry's going to come up and chat later, unless you had something to share now. Any questions for Jerry? No, we're good. Recreation, Frank's here. Any questions for Frank? Yeah, what happened to your arm? That's one question.
Broken wrist, comes off tomorrow. My wrist comes off, well, who knows? I hope it comes off and stays off, but finally, 7 weeks of it, so
Wow.
no fun. My apologies, I didn't get a report in time. So I just thought I'd mention a few things very quickly, and please ask any questions if I go too quickly. But summer programs are ending this week, so I can't believe this is like 21 summers in Yarmouth, and every summer seems to go faster than the one before. Our facilities crews have been busy getting ready. We've got 2 provincial tournaments this weekend. So we have U11 baseball provincials at St. Ambrose and U15 soccer provincials at the high school and Maple Grove soccer fields.
So the mayor's, just so council knows, the mayor's fund gave, because I didn't know if it was a timing thing, so it doesn't matter. We gave money to both.
And then we have a co-ed slow pitch tournament as well happening at the Hebron Rec Complex. So you'll see lots of people around in ball uniforms this weekend. Our 2 trails that we own and maintain in Arcadia and Hebron, they've been closed as per the provincial order. And I just thought I would report that some of the signs have been vandalized, stolen, torn down, and we have seen people walking on trails. I think it's happening in a lot of places. But we're doing our best to try to educate and tell people to stay out of the woods as per the order. I know the mayor's been quite vocal, and it's a tough one to close the woods, but we're doing what we can, and we have contacted DNR and the RCMP on occasion, and they've been good, but they've been honest in saying the same, that it's very difficult to police and enforce. The draft of the Recreation Culture Parks Plan has been received, and we've had a meeting reviewing that. So I think everyone has seen that and reviewed it, so very promising. We have a Recreation Advisory Committee meeting coming up on September the 3rd. Our Make Your Move Yarmouth initiative, we've added some neat pieces to our community equipment loan program. You can get an elliptical or a treadmill that you can put under your desk for while you're at work. So we have a couple of those, and as soon as we got them and told people that we had them, they've been signed out, and I assume in people's offices under their desks. But we,
Yeah, we have those anyway. Yeah,
Right on.
Good stuff.
so we've also added some new games and that sort of thing. Gardening has been one of the activities that we've targeted for getting people moving more in their backyards. And cornhole is a popular family activity that you can borrow those games and play. And then the last thing I wanted to mention was Lake Milo. We've had positive tests, I guess negative tests, good tests of the lake all summer. E. coli testing was very down, which was surprising. Every summer we usually get a couple high readings, but the readings this year have been very, very good. And the lifeguards are on duty until September the 1st.
Nice. Good stuff. Go ahead there, Deputy.
Just wondering if the Hebron complex is finished yet. I know you waited some time to get those things through, and I will say after using it for J-Strong, that building is, the washrooms and the setup there is really looks a whole lot different. An upgrade was much needed, but very well done, at least in that sense. And just wondering if the rest of the construction is finished or will be.
About 93% done. Okay. So a few little things. The doors still aren't closing properly. I think there was an issue with the alarm system hasn't been set up, so they just did the landscaping this week. It's and a few minor things, but we have the soccer provincials are in the building this week using that for their tournament. So, yeah, I can't wait to have a meeting out there to show everybody.
Good stuff. Go ahead.
I just wanted to say congratulations on the very well run by your crew, the Dragon Boat Regatta, which was very good, a lot of fun, and I'd love to see that get built on, and I'll do my best to drag a few more people out for that for next year, but it was very well done, so thank you for that.
For sure, and I've got to give kudos to Matthew Smith and Jillian Camo, who, when we were trying to revive that, when we first purchased the Dragon Boats, my goodness, it must be close to 20 years ago, and we had those regattas in the summer. They were very popular, very well attended, but like a lot of things, you get a lot of steam and then things kind of fade off a little bit. So we really put our heads together to try to figure out a way to get people back in the boats on the water, and the way we do the charitable donation to the winning team, I think that was a big thing, that everyone that's in the boats paddling knows that their entry fee is going to help a local charity. So I think that was one of the good things.
It worked, it was really good. The other thing I wanted to mention too, just as a reminder for everybody, is that Switch is this weekend.
Switch on Marginal Wharf.
Yep, Saturday.
Sunday.
Sunday, yeah, so excellent, thank you.
Right on.
Well, how'd that go?
Pardon me?
How did that go on the board?
The first one was probably not as well attended as when we're on the street, but a little bit different venue, some challenges with the music. So I think we've got those challenges figured out with a schedule for the music
Good.
this time. So hopefully, the weather looks good, so hopefully be a good draw there on Sunday.
Hopefully, yes. Okay, good.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, strategic priorities, that's there for information, but I have it like, these under advocacy, they're not in order, right? No, okay, good. No, I'm going to say they're not. Okay. I just want to make sure of that because I might have had to move some stuff around. Okay. All right, so under business, operating budget adjustments, and this is to recommend that council adjust the town's operating budget for 2025 and 26 as attached. Jerry, did you want to come up and want to speak to that?
Yeah, so a lot of moving parts with the town budget, a lot of things happening. So some things came to light as recently as the last couple of weeks, working with the auditors and getting our year-end reports and audit working papers into them. So, back on the staff report, I've mentioned, the possibility of showing a decent-sized loss this year, which was a kind of a, felt like it was got punched in the gut myself because I didn't see that happening. In December, January, I was looking and like, yeah, we're going to be over in some areas, but we'll be, a little better off, or in some areas too, and thought that would all be okay. But a few things happened and thought they should be reflected in the current year's budget as well. So in the current year, there's 3 or 4 things. So one is when we actually did the water utility budget this year, the utility just couldn't afford to pay the town the full $100,000 dividend, which is normal. So we passed the water utility budget with a $50,000 dividend.
3:46 p.m.
But in the town's side, we still had 100. So we need to adjust the town side. That's the one thing. The other items identified, one is with the audited statements, and this is more of an accounting piece, is how we have to set up and record and the retirement benefits that will be paid out eventually. So what's happened in the last bunch of years, or few years, we have a lot of staff, but half our staff have less than 10 years of service. And retirement benefits don't actually, we don't have to record and allocate money for them until someone hits that 10-year service, because staff come and go in the first few years, but after 10 years, odds are more probable that they stay and retire. So accounting rules say after 10 years of service, we have to set that liability up. And so this past year, I didn't realize, but we had 5 staff hit the 10-year mark. And going through and looking at the sheets, I see that next year we have 5 more staff hitting the 10-year mark. So it's going from a zero liability to a liability with someone with 10 years of service. The other piece, so that's the main thing that's happened with those. So to be just more accurate, it won't be bang on, but that adjustment's required to be more reflective of what will actually happen. Third was with the Mariner Center expansion, again, it's an accounting thing, dealing with the expansion committee and the rules and regulations for charities. They actually can't pass their money on to the Mariner Center itself. The Mariner Center itself is not set up as a charitable organization. So they have to turn around and take the money they raise, pass it on to the town, and then we as a town can turn around and pass it on to the Mariner Center. So it's just the accounting thing, but it will flow through our books, and it's a big number. And, you know, the number I put in here for the adjustment, it won't be exact, but it'll be close, a lot closer than zero, put it that way. So looking for how that adjustment done. And finally, the final one has to do with the leisure services contract. I know for a year or so we had intention of having a new agreement written. We were at 40%, but that's not been done, looking at 50%. But I've also looked at the last 10 years, and what's requested isn't always fully budgeted, and that's because typically, like a lot of budgets, some things are planned but don't get done. Different things happen. So I've never really, in the last 10 years, budgeted the full request, but have come close. And we've gone, you know, the last 10 years, our contract's been as low as 250 and as high as 315.
363?
Yeah, 363. So the request this year was up to 408. It was quite an increase. So in the end, in hindsight and talking with Frank about what's actually happened this year, the budget that we put in of 315 is probably a bit on the low side. So we have the room, we can adjust that to 375, and we'll be in the ballpark there. So looking to get those 4 things done, and like I say, trying to get this, you know, I normally do this and look at it in July and August because we do need to report our budgets to the province in September. So get these adjustments made if we can, if you're in agreement, and then in the coming weeks we'll get the reports filled out and sent off to the province.
Okay. Questions for Jerry? Okay. Go ahead.
I just recommend that the council adjust the town's operating budget for 2025, 2026 as requested and attached.
Okay, moved and seconded. Discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Contrary? Motion carried. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Cost estimates for South Playground amenities. Okay.
I'll speak to that if you want.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so council had requested that the items that were identified through the consultation be costed out, and caution council that these are ballpark estimates for budget purposes. They're not quotes, and but they are to give you a sense of the order of magnitude of the costs of some of those features. As the deputy mayor mentioned earlier this week, he and I had a communication around possible engagement, further engagement, and you know, thinking about that, you know, with the changes that were spoken about earlier today, that the very apparent changes to the park, it might be appropriate to wait and maybe next summer to do some kind of engagement at the playground where the kids are, to try and engage the kids to share, you know, to look at the ideas, to somehow indicate their preference or desire, and maybe bring that information back to council to prioritize sort of next moves with the playground.
Go ahead, Councillor Dares.
Thank you. I think the deputy mayor mentioned I was down at the park yesterday, at the playground yesterday, and had occasion to speak to Todd Muse. And I think Todd's got some novel ideas on things that could save money. This really, quite honestly, was a wish list. And I think, what you wish for is not always what you get. I can't imagine, for example, and this is just my opinion, but I can't imagine that we have a need for a second splash park in the town of Yarmouth, especially given the ridership of the bus and the numbers that I'm seeing here just continue to make me smile that, everybody's accessing the bus service. So I think some of the big ticket items, can be considered but not necessary. And as an example, there's a cement pad that is remnants of a building that was removed. Todd had suggested that might be a good place to place a porta potty during events, and that they could be somehow anchored so that they couldn't be tipped or something. So he's just looking for, I guess, novel ways to address the issues that are down there without spending a fortune, and that allows some of the smaller ticket items to be completed. But anyway, the conversation was good, and I think he's got some good ideas to follow up on.
Okay, so what do we have to do here? Nothing really yet. You're good? Okay. All right, let me get out of this one. Then the senior safety program, and the recommended motion there is to recommend that council adopt the senior safety coordinator program policy. Have that motion? Councillor Lacroix, Bégère Lacroix, and Deputy Mayor. Discussion? Do we want to say who's?
So, yeah, I can give you a quick, just a quick update. So council made the decision, with the budget approved and all that, to move ahead with the senior safety coordinator program. It fell nicely, I guess, a happy coincidence. Two things is one that Muriel Thomas was on staff and had completed a body of work around the equity, diversity, inclusion work that left some capacity with her, and she is interested and I think an excellent candidate to carry out this work. So she immediately went to educating herself around what the senior safety coordinator, what they do, what the service is, and I asked of her to report back to council in the form of a policy that would guide the work that she'll undertake as a senior safety coordinator. Purpose of this is so that we're all on the same page, so that we understand the scope of the service and how it be delivered. It is a pilot, and so as a pilot, we're learning as we go, and if we learn that the scope doesn't fit in some way as we move along, we'll expect recommendations to come back from Muriel on that. But to get us started, this policy is in front of you for your consideration. The expected launch date, you'll see in the update, is September the 12th, 2025, if everything goes well today. And Muriel and Jody Kinney are here if you have any questions.
I was just going to say, this looks really good. Glad we're potentially moving ahead, depending on, I guess, what comes out of this. I think this covers a lot, and the timeline is actually much faster than I thought. I didn't expect things to start this fast, which is awesome, because I know there are people kind of looking forward to it. And on 3B, I realized I'm not that far away from actually qualifying for services, so that's good. Yeah. Now this looks really good.
I got to catch up for 10 years. You owe me 10 years of service. What's the difference between receiving and triaging referrals and assist clients in navigating service? Never mind. I just read it out loud and I separated it. I couldn't separate it at first. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff in here. This is good.
Yeah, hi. I agree. I think this is a nice start. You know, it's a great beginning document, kind of solidifies what the mandate is going to look like. I think it's a nice guide. I'm kind of amazed that we're at this point this quickly. When you're talking about doing this as a pilot, are you talking about how long a pilot? Are you looking at the year, or what are we looking at in terms of timelines?
So the original recommendation to council was for 2 years.
2 years.
So we'll assess at the end of year one, and again, towards the end of year two, not at the very end, but towards, you know, the later part of year two. I suspect that if what we're told is true, that the need is apparent and it will show up, and if we've hit it right with the policy and the scope of service, then, you know, I'm optimistic that we'll have something pretty good happening here. So, yeah. So, if I could also respond to say that, you know, the other reason that the policy is important, I mentioned about being on the same page and alignment between expectations, is that one of the things that Muriel found out when she talked to other senior safety coordinators around the province is that there is some difference in scope that exists from community to community in this. And so we wanted to be clear, like, what the expectation is here, because if you're speaking to somebody from Truro and you find out that their senior safety coordinator does something a little different, well, that's why. It's because there is some variability across the province, and we just wanted to be so clear and on the same page with council in terms of what our scope, our intended scope is.
More clarity, the better. That's excellent. Thank you.
Good. Okay, anything else? Oh, Al, go ahead, Councillor.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Your Worship. Just trying to, I don't have the document in front of me, and so I'm just trying to reflect chains of command, like who is the safety services coordinator reporting to?
Jody Kinney?
Okay, and where is the interaction between the senior safety coordinator and the RCMP community liaison?
Where is it?
Yeah, is there one?
Oh, yes,
Like, would
yeah.
there? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's pretty standard, that there's a connection, but there's not an accountability to the
Okay.
staff sergeant or anybody else in the police agency.
Perfect. Okay. Great. Okay. Great. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, anyone else? All right. Okay, so all those in favor? Aye. Contrary? Motion carried. Great work on that. Thank you. Okay, so we've got correspondence there, a thank you, PVSC report, fire school. There are no additions, so let's have a motion to go in camera. Did you have something to?
Just prior to going into in camera, I just wanted to comment on regards to the readiness of the Yarmouth Fire Department in regards to taking over their training in-house, given that that won't be available any longer at the Nova Scotia Firefighter School. So being proactive has put our department in a really good spot. And I just want to thank the chief for that.
Amen.
And with that, a motion to go in camera.
Okay, good. Seconded by Councilor Lesser. All those in favor? Aye. Okay,